предпринимаем активные меры по развитию трехязычия.
Kazakh language is our spiritual pivot. Our aim is to develop the Kazakh language, actively using it in all areas. We should develop a modern Kazakh language for our descendants. Knowing the Russian language provided a historic advantage to our nation. Kazakhstan citizens have gained additional knowledge through the centuries through Russian, and learning the English language will provide new and unlimited opportunities for every citizen of our country. This trilingual policy should be encouraged at the state level. In 2008, the President of Kazakhstan launched the Nazarbayev Intellectual Schools Initiative. The President expects the intellectual schools to create a unique learning environment and implement a trilingual education model. Instead of using a traditional grammar and translation-based model of language teaching, the intellectual schools use a more communicative approach. They teach different subjects through different languages and create opportunities for students to actively use Kazakh, Russian and English inside and outside the classroom. As a result of this approach, students become proficient in speaking, listening, reading and writing in the three languages of instruction.
We have Kazakh, Russian and English language studies in Nazarbayev Intellectual School. So the language itself is not the method of communication between the people. It's something much more significant. Pointing to myself, I would like to explain and describe the trip I have been into last year. The trip was to Göttingen. It is a city located in Germany. We have attended X-Lab courses. X-Lab is the laboratory. So in this trip, I've received a lot of academic knowledge in physics, maths, and IT, biology and chemistry. And people were really surprised and amused by our language skills. But finally, I hope that every student speaking three languages deserves all the best in the world. So the world is waiting for us because we are obtaining the languages, and language is a power.
For children who do not speak Kazakh, early language immersion has been implemented at 2 intellectual schools. Immersion programs were first launched in Montreal, Canada in the 1960s. The model has been highly successful and has been adopted in many other countries. Now it is also being used to teach Kazakh in Kazakhstan. Numerous research studies confirm that immersion is one of the most effective methods for language learning. Children in these programs learn many of their school subjects through Kazakh. They are afforded meaningful opportunities to use the language with peers and adults. In our immersion program, students use language as a tool for learning subject area content, and at the same time they learn language. The Kazakh immersion program was piloted in 2012 at the kindergarten of the Nazarbayev Intellectual School in Taldykorgan. Students have now reached grade 1 in both the intellectual schools in Taldykorgan and Kokshetau.
Туған жерде толамыз, ертең шүгір боламыз, отан ортақ үйіміз, көңілді ән күйіміз.
The trilingual education policy for the Nazarbayev intellectual schools promotes the learning of Kazakh, Russian and English in language classes, but above all by teaching other school subjects through each of the 3 languages.
The fact that each language has a very clear purpose within the programme, that Kazakh is the cultural language, Russian the business language and English the international language, I think gives each language a clear role, a clear focus and a clear emphasis in the programme and in the curriculum.
For example, Kazakh is the language of instruction in the following subjects: world understanding in primary school, history of Kazakhstan, geography and basics of law in secondary school, Kazakhstan in the modern world, geography and Kazakh literature in high school.
Солтүстік Қазақстан және орта Қазақстан, және ұлы жүз, оңтүстік Қазақстан және шығыс Қазақстан.
Жақсы отыра.
Russian is used for teaching world history, computer science and literature. In high school, subjects such as mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, economics and global perspectives and project work are taught in English.
He was very happy, and I asked him, why you are so happy? Did you get the mark 5? And so he answered that he can improve our Kazakhstan, and the first step is to support our environment in a clean way.
In order to implement the trilingual education strategy, schools are expected to apply innovative teaching approaches and methods. For example, all content teachers apply CLIL, or content and language integrated learning principles in subjects taught through second and third languages. In CLIL lessons, content teachers are responsible for both content and language learning. They use numerous strategies to support the simultaneous learning of content and language.
At Nazarbayev Intellectual School, we implement a lot of programs and approaches in order to develop trilingualism and bilingualism. So first of all, we should speak here about content language integrated learning approach. This approach is widely used in such subjects like geography, Kazakhstan history, world history, and Kazakhstan in modern world.
As stated, two aims are achieved at the same time. The subject is learned through the second or third languages, and academic language is acquired through the learning of subject content. To prepare students to learn content subjects through English at the high school level, team teaching is used. This involves a local teacher speaking the student's first language and an international teacher speaking the student's third language.
I would say there's two primary reasons why we're using team teaching. The first, as you know, we're a trilingual school, so our students have to learn in 3 languages. The international teachers bring that English element to the classroom, where they teach students in the English language so the students can become to be prepared for higher university, mainly Nazarbayev University, where they will speak only in English. The second reason is we're constantly trying to use the most effective and the most modern educational techniques in the classroom. We always try to have the two teachers mentor each other to bring about the best educational experience for the students. Those are the 2 reasons why we use team teaching. The primary difference between the classic method and the modern method is really simple. In the classic method, the teacher is the center of the class. The teacher is delivering knowledge. In the new methods that we use, the teacher is a facilitator. The students are the center. You'll see them working groups. You'll see them working partners. You may see a lot of movement in the class. You will see active learning. The teacher may not always give the answer. The teacher will guide the students to find the answer. So it's more of a discovery model where the teacher is but a guide on the journey to acquire knowledge.
Team teaching is used for teaching mathematics from grade 8 onward. From grade 9 onward, team teaching is used for physics, chemistry, biology, and computer science. In team teaching, 2 teachers are both present in the classroom. They work together using both languages for teaching and supporting student learning.
And it's amazing in the short time we've been here how much more confident the students have become to speak in English or Kazakh or Russian, and that they can swap quickly between the languages within a lesson. It's amazing.
In learning content subjects through a second and third language, students experience certain challenges due to their lack of language knowledge. Consequently, the teacher's task is twofold: to help students learn subject content as well as to develop language skills. Additional lessons and summer language schools are organised to support students in using and learning academic language. Moreover, language and content teachers work together to improve students' learning of both content and language. In order to support teachers in the implementation of trilingual education, professional development courses and workshops are organised both in Kazakhstan and abroad. For instance, workshops on content and language integrated learning were conducted for teachers by international experts. In addition, local teachers at the intellectual schools have an opportunity to learn Kazakh and English in language courses offered at the schools. Similarly, international teachers learn Kazakh and Russian languages. To enhance language achievement, students at the intellectual schools are afforded plenty of opportunities to actively use their languages. Extracurricular activities, such as the Trilingual Week, a competition called We Are Polyglots, and events such as linguistic theatre minutes, have become a tradition at the intellectual schools. Performances, concerts, and organised evening events also promote the use of Kazakh, Russian and English outside the classroom. In 2012, a project involving regional natural history expeditions, paying homage to the motherland, was launched in the intellectual schools. Within the framework of the project, groups of grades 7, 8, 9 and 10 students travel to the most beautiful and mysterious places in the country. They get to know local flora and fauna, natural landscapes, national parks and nature reserves, historical sites and landmarks, large industrial facilities, research centres, etc. As a result of research including fieldwork, students present what they have learnt and defend their research findings in 3 languages. This project is striving to kindle students' interest in their motherland, foster patriotism and develop research and communicative skills. School life is also busy with scientific and practical conferences, Olympiads, including contests at the international level. NIS students have already gained a positive international reputation as they have won many first prizes and trophies at various international Olympiads. For example, a 12th grade student named Mashpiyeva Aynur from the Nazarbayev Intellectual Schools of Physics and Mathematics in Semey has been named the best young mathematician who participated in the SAT International Test. Students from 175 countries in the world took the test. Mashpiyeva Aynur outperformed all other students on the test. She had a perfect test score, answering all 50 questions correctly. She now has a chance to study at the world's top universities. This young genius succeeded as a result of hard work, the solid education she received in the intellectual schools of Semey, and the strong support provided by an international mathematics teacher.
Құрметті оқушылар, осы мектепке келгенге дейін сіздер жалпы қазақ тілінде сөйледіңіздер ме? Бұрын білдіңіздер ме? Ал қазіргі қазақ тілін білу деңгейлеріңіз қандай?
Бұрынғы мектептен мен тек қана қазақ тілінің грамматикалық негіздерді біліп келдім. Ал қазір қазақ тілі туралы пікірім қатты өзгерді. Жазылым, оқылым және әрине ауызша сөйлеудің білімдерді көбейттім. Сол үшін қазақ тілінің әділ және мейірімді мұғалімдеріме рахмет айтамын.
Мен Қазақстанда тудым, сондықтан қазақ тілінде жақсы сөйлеймін. Бірақ осы мектепке келгеннен бері тілім одан да жақсы дамыды. Себебі біз осында көптеген әдеби шығармаларды, сөздерді оқимыз.
Ал мен 2 апта ауылда жобасының аясында ата мен әжемнің қасында болып, ойып, тіпті сиыр саууды да үйрендім. Мен нағыз қазақша сөйлейтін адамдардың ортасына түстім.
Жалпы, осы өзім туралы айтып кетсем, мектепке келер бұрын мен көбінесе орысша сөйлейтін едім. Бірақ қазір ойлауым да сөйлеуім де қазақша.
Когда мы читаем большое количество текстов, у нас вырабатывается автоматическая память, и поэтому наша грамматика развивается без всякой зубрежки.
В изучении любого языка, будь то английский, французский или арабский, должны быть свои хитрости, приемы, способы. Вот взять, к примеру, изучение русского языка в нашей школе. Мы связываем его с такими предметами, как история мира, география, биология. Мы пробуем себя в новых ролях – журналиста, исследователя, артиста, музыканта. Мы разыгрываем сценки и участвуем в различных дебатах.
How have you developed your language skills?
As for me, learning English is both interesting and challenging, and we face with some problems related to the accent and confidence in speech. But here at NIS, communicating with international teachers helped me to improve my English, my speaking in general.
I have studied English since I was 6. I have learned many English songs, and I do believe that this helped to develop my English skills. Also, I think that participation in different clubs, discussions and other events helped to improve my English skills.
We studied several subjects in English like math, biology and physics, and the most difficult part for me is learning new words. By learning new words, we make our language better.
The libraries in the intellectual schools are also organised in accordance with the trilingual education policy. Libraries have learning resources in 3 languages and provides access to global electronic databases, international electronic libraries, and to other learning resources. Trilingual education enables families with several languages to remain in close communication across generations. Trilingualism helps to preserve cultural traditions, promotes goodwill between ethnic groups, and facilitates entry into the international arena. The intellectual schools treat parents as partners in trilingual education. Indeed, parents play an essential role in trilingual education as they can support their children in using and learning all 3 languages.
Моя дочь совершенно не говорила на казахском языке.
My daughter did not speak Kazakh at all. Now, when she watches cartoons in Kazakh, not only does she watch them, but understands them. She tries to translate things she sees in the street and speak the Kazakh language. Certainly, these are just attempts, but still. Involuntarily, she teaches her younger brother and us to speak Kazakh. If we say something wrong, she would say something like, not bir, but bur, and she takes on the teaching process. She experiments with words she doesn't know the meaning of, even in Russian. This happens sometimes. Every day, my child comes home and tells me about his school day. He likes everything about it. He is already fluent in Kazakh. Previously, he had nowhere to speak it but during the lessons. And now he can talk to me in Kazakh at home. He can also easily address people in a foreign language with no hesitation. As my son says, his life is not a boring life, but a school life, so active and vibrant. Countries that have high levels of bilingual and multilingual citizens have experienced important socio-economic benefits. For example, Finland is a top-ranking country in terms of standard of living and the quality of life. People living in Luxembourg enjoy the highest per capita income in the world. The quality of life in Canada and Switzerland is also high. The intellectual school's trilingual model has been examined by experts in the field from Canada, Belgium, Great Britain and the USA. All have been complementary of the intellectual school's model.
The system here in the NIS schools has not been going for very long. And what has amazed me here is the fact that such high levels of educational content and linguistic output that I have seen in the classrooms after such a short period of experience with a system that is being developed as it goes along. I was extremely impressed, and I'm not exaggerating now.
There are many bilingual schools around the world, but there are relatively few trilingual schools, and there are very few trilingual schools that are in a whole system, as you have here in Kazakhstan. So this is a very exciting initiative that has been taken by the President and the government. We've been very, very impressed with what we've seen. This is a relatively recent innovation in education in Kazakhstan, but already there are many very good things that are happening. It's very impressive to see how much thought has been put into planning these programs.
Today, due to its advantageous geopolitical position, Kazakhstan plays a crucial role in world politics. Kazakhstani achievements and initiatives are acknowledged by the world community. And above all, Kazakhstan has the capacity to support and create opportunities for its young generation. This is the aim of the strategy Kazakhstan 2050. Speaking about this strategy, the President of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, suggests creating a favourable climate for innovations and for improving education. Kazakhstan wishes to provide young people with the best possible education, interesting and rewarding work, and a bright future.